Carney's energy chief rebukes Trudeau over LNG policy in Europe. So this is Canadian Energy Minister Tim Hodgson said his government is taking steps towards exporting natural gas to Europe, and he criticized former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for not making the same effort. If only this guy had spoken up, I don't know, in the 10 years that Trudeau was in power. I hope he finds out who is advising Trudeau on these economic and energy issues for about 5 years. I hope he locates that guy and then gives him an earful for being an absolute hypocrite. He says, the new Canadian federal government has made a conscious choice to recenter energy and critical minerals and how we think about not only our domestic affairs, but Canada's place in the world. He said in a prepared text of remarks he will deliver to the German embassy in Berlin. Yeah, I hope he finds out who is in charge all those years and also who is whispering in his ear about economic issues.
Well, if we're recentering the economy and recentering our energy direction, then I think we have to have a conversation about who's going to profit and how is Brookfield going to be involved in all of this new recentering? Because we know that when the federal government does something these days, it is always to line the pockets of liberal insiders or consultants or businesses or companies like Brookfield. And in every single case that we've seen in the last several months, anything that Mark Carney does is for the benefit of the Brookfield shareholder, not the benefit of Canada. And so I get real nervous when I hear heads of agencies start talking about recentering things, because you know that in that recentering, they are actually destroying other parts of our energy sector. So
yeah, I'm waiting for the Brookfield affiliated pipeline company to get the first transnational pipeline built in this country to the benefit of Brookfield shareholders.
Right. Or the first nuclear setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and if I can add, as well, I think the feet dragging here by the Liberal Party, both with Trudeau and with Prime Minister now Carney, these are things that should have happened years ago. And it's easy to say that, but it's hard for people to realize how much of a benefit that would have brought us because we haven't seen it. We don't know what it looks like because we never saw it. And now they're, pulling this out of their hat because they've decided to worsen relationships with the most powerful country on the planet, who just happens to share a massive land border with us. And the only real country we have is a proper neighbor. And they're doing the same thing here, where they're dragging their feet on trade deals, and trade deals are happening with other countries with the United States, and they're filling the space for our product and for our workers who are putting that product on the market to actually have money in their pockets. That's what the big delay is here. And they think they can, save face with the signing of this agreement when the infrastructure, it's going to take a while to get there. I just think it's far-fetched for them to blame the predecessor when they themselves are the predecessor.
Well, agreed. Yeah, go ahead, Sheila.
If you're wondering, like you mentioned, what has this cost Canadians? Well, I can tell you just one deal, what it would have cost Canadians, because the Americans just signed the deal with Europe. So LNG, on July 27th, so just a couple of weeks ago.
1 month ago exactly. 1 month ago exactly, yeah.
The Europeans will struck a deal with the Americans, and this is on the liquefied natural gas that they said there was no business case for. $750 billion worth of US LNG and oil and nuclear fuels. That's 3 years. That's just 3 years. That could have been our market, because we have the uranium, we have the oil, and we have the LNG. We have more of all of that than the Americans. That was our deal that they said Mark Carney said there was no business case for. He was the business advisor to the prime minister. So that's a dumb phrase. Trudeau would have never come up with that on his own. So that is the case that came from Mark Carney, who prior to being the prime minister made it his life's work to debank and de-insure large energy projects. So
And same. I
here we
want to
are.
throw steel in that mix there too. But also,
Yeah.
kind of in the same vein, but a bit different, is the fact that wasn't there just a massive canola deal signed between Australia and China, one of
Yeah.
our major buyers,
Right.
and that's not in the same vein as dealing with the States, but it's also a byproduct of how Carney's handled the
Right.
situation.
Again, that
Sure.
they're buying Australian canola because they're tariffing ours to fight back against the 100% tariffs that Trudeau slapped on their electric vehicles. So it's a retaliatory tariff. So they are just headed to Australia now to get
They found a
And,
new market. They found
found
a
a
new
new
market.
market.
and let me just add to that, is the electric vehicle market that we were trying to protect here, that's now
Nobody
kind of
wants.
half gone under because we invested billions of dollars and then they decided to pull out.
Yes,
Right.
we're in a crisis situation, and now Mark Carney is stuck trying to put a Band-Aid, right? Put a Band-Aid over a fire hydrant of chaos on an
Yeah.
economic front. Like he crapped the bed so hard, and now he's trying to make up for lost. Now it's time we sleep in it. Oh, good. I can't wait.
Yeah.
But it's really it's interesting that China just inked a deal with Australia on canola. And Premier Scott Moe, is on his way to
He's on his
China
way there.
right now to lobby this. I just want to say it. We encourage Scott Moe to do that.
We did.
To just to sort of overrule the federal government because we don't have any trust that they can fix the problem. So Scott Moe is going to China, but man, it really puts us in a weakened negotiating position when they just signed that deal with Australia. It's really, really sad for Western ag producers.
Yeah, when you look at Anita Anand, like, you're gonna trust her with this? No.
Right.
Like, no. No. Let's keep going because we only have Sid for a few more minutes. Polyev, he says, what I think you're going to see from Mr. Carney is big promises without action. So let's watch this. Calls it liberal show business, and don't confuse these meetings and busy work with actual deals.
Well, I'm glad that Mr. Carney has noticed my proposal from 3 years ago to develop the port of Churchill, which I proposed back in the spring of 2022. But what I find incredible is that he has been in power for 170 days, and not only is there not a single shovel in the ground on any of these projects, there's not even firm proposals for these projects. Let me put this into context. He was in Germany. The Germans built, from concept to completion, an entire LNG import terminal in 194 days. That's about how long Mark Carney has been prime minister. And he still doesn't even know what projects he wants to build, or how he's going to build them, or which companies are going to do the building. So what I think you're going to see from Mr. Carney is more big promises without any action. It's more liberal show business rather than getting it done. And I would say, don't confuse activity with achievement. Mr. Carney has been frantically jetting around the world doing photo ops and signing phony declarations that are unenforceable and have no money attached to them. But in 170 days, he doesn't have a single project underway, while $60 billion of investment, Canadian money, has fled our country, mostly to the United States, impoverishing our people and enriching foreign workers. So what I'm saying to Mr. Carney is I'm extending the hand of friendship to all parties. Adopt the Canadian Sovereignty Act, which will rapidly legalize pipelines, mines, LNG plants, ports, open our economy up to the world. It will get rid of the capital gains tax on any reinvestment that is done in Canada to make our economy roar. Our workers will have paychecks that grow. Our economy will be self-reliant. And I say to Mr. Carney, steal my ideas. Take the credit for it. I'll help you write the bill. You can be the one to introduce and pass it. Let's just get it done. It's time to stop stopping and start starting.
I just want to give you guys a useless bit of information here. And again, I gave my useless information beforehand about Mamie Eisenhower, but the Alaska Highway, do you know how long it took to build? So they started construction on it right after Pearl Harbor, right? Because they were on that front. Do you know how, just give me a guess. How long did it take to build a highway from the United States through the horrible parts of Canada, places that were really uncharted, all the way to Alaska when they made that connection from the start in March. How long do you think it took?
4 years.
I feel like I should go low, so I'm going to say 46 days.
Days?
Super low.
Super-
Strategic path.
8 months.
Holy
From
Hannah.
March to October, and they did the ribbon cutting ceremony.
Technically, I was closer.
Yeah, you were. If this were The Price is Right, you would be headed up on stage. But in 8 months, if there's
Incredible.
a political will, and if you consider what is before you a national emergency, you will get it done. But they actually consider the lack of pipeline access to be either one of those things.
But they don't consider projects that would benefit the West
Right.
a national emergency or a national like an area of national interest, because why would they? Because
Right.
why would they? They don't want us to do well. They want us to suffer, and they want all of our main economic drivers to stop working for us.
Right.
This is
which feels suicidal, because they also want our money. So it's like, if you want our money, just let us work, but they can't even treat us like a colony. In a colony, they would let us work. They would be like, yeah, get to work and give us all your resources, give us all your money, but they just want our money, but they won't let us do the thing we need to do to earn it. It's the craziest, suicidalist thing.
It is.
Well, and put aside Trudeau and just focus on when Carney got into office. It really feels like it's been, the summer of waiting in many senses. We're hoping to see the change, and how long is that going to go for? I think a lot of people, winter's coming, I think people are going to get to the end of their rope here. They want to see that change. They want to see that action on the ground, not this, former governor of the Bank of England, Bank of Canada, this world guy, just touting off and signing agreements, smiling with the right people. That's not the action that Canadians want to see. And they are waiting patiently. They've been waiting, but that patience is running out.
Yeah, all he's doing is visiting his old European friends on our
Sure.
dime. Like, that's
Sure.
all he's doing. Like,
He's
please
on-
do something here if you wouldn't mind.
He's on a European vacation, and he has been
Right.
since his very first days as prime minister.